One of the best things I've ever done was make writing addictive. It is by far the best habit I have ever been hooked on. So if you are in a situation where you wish to write more, but simply cannot find the drive to do so, I hope that by sharing the tips that got me into writing so frequently can help you on your journey as well. The three basic components boil down to this: make writing easier, make getting distracted harder, and have a payoff when your writing is complete. Let's start with making writing easier. I understand that everyone listening has times and places when they want to be lazy. This can prevent you from writing, even if the place where you write is one room over or just up the stairs. That is why you need to have a place to write everywhere you can. For example, in my bedroom, I have a Chromebook I can open up anytime, and every time that I do open it, it goes right to Google Docs to my drafts. In the room I record YouTube videos in, the desktop is favorited towards my Google Docs as well. In other rooms in the house, I have multiple fountain pens and journals, so if I'm in the middle of doing chores or just moving around the house and an idea strikes me, I can open any one of those books and start writing something down. This does mean you're gonna have books everywhere, but if someone's gonna come into my place and complain there's too many books, I'm probably not gonna be inviting them back. As of now, I have yet to determine how to make writing feasible in the stairwells, the front and backyard, and the bathrooms, but if anyone does have an idea, do let me know down below. Now that writing is easier and more available, we must make getting distracted more difficult. First things first, put your phone in a different room. Even while I'm recording this video, I have my phone right next to me. It is going off with notifications that I really don't need to address. So if you want to get writing done and you're not confident you'll be able to ignore your phone, wait till it's low on charge, hook up the charger in some other room, as far away as possible if you can, and ignore it until you get your writing done. Next is the TV. I've gotten pushback from people on this before, but you do not need a TV in the living room. I refuse to put one in mine, and so far I do not have problems with it. Living room TVs are like 5% actually watching the TV with friends and family, and 95% on in the background to create noise and distract you from writing. If you have the ability to do so, do not put a TV in the living room. The only one hooked up in my house is in the room where I make videos and use PlayStation 5. And finally, the internet. I mostly use Google Docs to write, so some sort of internet will be required. I know some people use blockers, so they're unable to access websites. But what I do is much simpler. Most of the time, when I'm tempted to use the internet writing on Google Docs, it is for the use of a thesaurus, a usage dictionary, or a dictionary. So instead of giving in to the temptation of pressing Ctrl-T and searching, have physical copies of these books. I bought my thesaurus for like $20. And you can ask anyone that I'm in a writer's group with. I use that thing all the time. It has more than paid for itself in usefulness. I know it may seem simpler to use the internet for your thesaurus needs, but trust me, having a physical book is better. The time in cutout distractions is worth it. Now that writing is easier and we're harder to distract, we need a payoff. Something at the completion of our work that we can gain satisfaction from. Seeing your story in a completed state may be enough for some people. I know completing my novel was perhaps the best I've ever felt creatively, but there is more we can do. You can always create a printout of your work. There is a fine difference between looking at a screen and physically holding a story in your hands, where there is a palpable weight to the word you have put on the page. Printing it somewhere like Staples can be pricey, so having your own printer is preferred. And do not print it out at work when no one's paying attention. That is misuse of company paper, so totally do not do that. Next is self-publishing the work. Putting something out on Amazon KDP is easier than you think. If your goal is to have something in person, Amazon lets you buy proof copies for a few bucks each, depending on how big your work is. I know there are other options out there, but I'm only familiar with Amazon KDP. The best payoff that I see for my work on a regular basis is reading it aloud to others. I am part of a writer's group that meets at least once a week, and what we do when we're not editing or discussing other stories is reading what we wrote the previous week aloud to each other. This has not only made me a better orator over the years and caught innumerable errors in my writing, but it gives me motivation to put metaphorical pen to paper and have something new for the fellas every single week. I don't want to be that guy with nothing, while everyone else has been writing absolute fire for the past 7 days. Sharing your work with people on the same wavelength is the greatest motivation for my writing and the main reason why I'm so addicted to it now. And that is all I have for you this week. The question this week is this: what is your main motivation for writing? Is it to share with others, or is it something intrapersonal? Do let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoy this video, or any of the other ones I have posted like it, be sure to like and subscribe, as here on To the Jersey Side, we post every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time.